Welcome gamers, weebs, and nerds alike. Sitting down and playing some games with friends is one of the most fun things to do, whether it's enjoying some relaxing times building and farming, occasionally really putting your friendships to the test, or experiencing some of the best storytelling there is to offer. There's just something different when you do it with friends. So today, in honor of Elden Ring Night Reign coming out soon, we're going over 10 of the best co-op games out there. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more key content, and without further ado, let's get into the list.
First up on our list, we have Overcooked 2. Simply put, Overcooked 2 is a game that is as deliciously engaging as it is wonderfully chaotic. The gameplay was wonderfully straightforward, yet it masterfully blends simplicity with fast-paced, hectic challenges that keep you on your toes and in panic. It's not just about cooking, it's about communication, coordination, and a whole lot of laughter and maybe a touch of yelling in between. The game tests your teamwork skills, turning the kitchen into a dynamic and entertaining battlefield. For us, it brought out the best in our friendship, as we found ourselves communicating and collaborating really well. Though at the same time, it very easily could and did turn into a blame fest and a fight about who didn't chop the dang lettuce. All in all, Overcooked 2 is a deliciously chaotic experience, and you should definitely check it out and really test that new friend or relationship of yours along the way.
Next up, we have Dark Souls 2. This is more of a personal favorite of ours as we poured a lot of time, controllers, and rage into doing this playthrough, but it is such a fun game to play with others. While summoning in some people's eyes might take away from the difficulty or what makes Dark Souls, playing through this one in particular with your friends by your side, suffering through the long, painful runbacks, and the horrible hitboxes together just really brings you that much closer. Of course, like any other co-op game, you'll get mad at your friends for any number of reasons, but when the credits roll, you'll feel so accomplished and ready to do it all again. Plus, just vibing in Majula with the homies really just takes a load off your shoulders. You can also do what we did and pass off the controller every death for some good old local co-op play, which can lead to some of the most intense gamer posture lineman stances while you're on your 30th attempt of the rotten, and cheers and tears of joy when the boss finally goes down. If you want a good, unconventional co-op game and can't afford Night Reign yet, this, as well as the other Dark Souls games, are such a great alternative.
Next up on our list, we have Portal 2. Now, while it can be very easy and quite hilarious to continue the age-old Valve can't count to 3 bit here, we ask that you refrain in observance of this masterpiece, with the big bad of this game throwing in such loving phrases as naturally this will pose an interesting challenge for one of you given the other's performance so far. It would seem like Portal 2 is set up to be an antagonizing marriage breaker of a game, and yet it's not. While it's the same formula you know and love of solve puzzles and get to the next room, the twist in 2 is that the co-op section, there are 2 puzzle-solving robots controlled separately by 2 players. It's brilliant, because on one hand, you have the dedicated gamers just wanting to solve the puzzle and move on. But on the other hand, you have their game partner who may think, acid, and dunk them in, restarting everything. It may sound miserable at face value, but we promise you it is incredible, and it still holds up as a wonderful experience, and we definitely recommend checking it out with your gaming co-op partners sometime soon.
Next up, we have Space Marine 2. What's better than wiping out the Xenos Scourge as a giant heavily armored super soldier? Doing it with your brothers at your side. This game captures that Xbox 360 vibe in the best ways possible. You feel like an actual Space Marine, able to destroy hundreds if not thousands of bugs and chaos with ease. The gameplay is smooth yet clanky in a good way. There's enough variability in the weapons that it keeps things fresh, and the animations are awesome. It is really reminiscent of sawing locusts in half with your Lancer and Gears of War. And the best part is, every game mode is co-op. So whether you want to go through the story, do the optional missions, or attempt PvP, you can do so together. There will be times you get mad because they fell for the 4th time and now you have to restart the level again. But overall, it's a relatively good experience. So whether you're marching through the story or taking on sweats who have the perfect meta build, this is a great time to spend with friends defending the glory of the Emperor.
And next we have Stardew Valley. The core gameplay experience of Stardew Valley remains the same whether you play solo or cooperative. However, the co-op experience adds some really neat bonuses to the overall farming experience. While all the quests, events, and progression and the end-all goals are the same, the biggest bonus to playing Stardew co-op is the diversity that it offers for the skill progression systems. It can really be a fun task parting out who does what in your farm, as one farmer can hard focus on, well, farming to get you up to a iridium sprinklers, while the other focuses on fishing to unlock the goldenrod and get you to Ginger Island, while yet another focuses on combat and mining to get you to and through the Skull Caverns and all the rewards in between. All these advancements that would take multiple seasons or even years in game can be accomplished much quicker and much more efficiently. Not to mention, it's just a blast playing this silly, cozy game with your friends. So be sure to pick a plot of land and get to crafting your farming empire with your friends now. Our only word of advice is to mentally prepare for that shared bank account you will have.
Next up, we have OG Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, if you want a different galactic space game to play with friends, you can't do much better than OG Battlefront. Now, of course, the new one is prettier and plays smoother and allows for online play, but something about the original Battlefront with those iconic sounds, menus, and conquest mode just really scratches that itch. The game still actually plays pretty well despite turning 20 this year, and has so many features even the new one doesn't have. Being able to have space battles with a variety of different ships and not only have dogfights, but be able to land on opposing command ships and attack from the inside. Or the conquest mode, which really puts the pressure on you as you either work together or against your friend to conquer as many planets as possible. You also knew as soon as a hero came out, you were done for, as they were ridiculously broken alongside the droidicas. Nothing really beats out this game as a Star Wars battle game, and there's really a reason it's so highly regarded to this day.
Next up on our list, we have Halo the Master Chief Collection. Now, we know that picking the MCC may seem like a cop-out to many fans, but hear us out on this. Halo has always been about cooperative play, from the very first game to the very last, and every single spin-off in between. Every Halo game has supported some form of co-op play. The Master Chief Collection continues that trend, and each game's co-op play is beautifully preserved here. There's very little to dislike about being able to pick up a campaign playlist with your friends, kick back with Mountain Dew and Doritos, and just soak in the full story of Chief and Cortana like it's the early 2000s all over again, and you're getting ready for a LAN party. Speaking of LAN parties, while it may jump a bit out of the co-op discussion, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the multiplayer. Once again, it's all here, and just as wonderful of a cooperative mess as before. Not to mention the firefight mode having been added in with past content additions. Halo the Master Chief Collection very clearly set a wonderful tone for re-releases, and we can only hope that it will continue to be echoed in the industry for years to come.
Now we have Vermintide 2, where loot boxes can actually be okay. Yep, I said it. Loot boxes can actually work and be a good thing, and Vermintide 2 is the shining example. Getting loot boxes for free from just playing the game and incentivizing you by having hidden objects around the map that if you bring it to the end of the level, you can increase your odds at getting a better box. It's a great system, and that's just one small part of this game. It's a horde style game from basically get from point A to point B, kind of like Left 4 Dead, just in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar universe. There's a good variety of classes, weapons, abilities, and enemies to keep the game new and refreshing and fun. It's always a blast to mow through hundreds of rat boys with your friends in tow, and it makes the boss fights all that more exciting. The graphics are great, and they recently added the ability for a versus mode, where in Left 4 Dead fashion, you can play as the Skaven versus the Hunters. If zombies ain't your thing and you don't like sci-fi for Darktide, Vermintide is the great co-op game for you.
What better way to continue today's list than with one of the original greats of the couch co-op genre of games than with LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. In case you've been living under a rock, LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga takes the first two LEGO Star Wars games and slams them together while slightly upscaling the graphics and adding all manner of silly side activities and mini-games. The thing that makes The Complete Saga such a standout for co-op games is the sheer amount of replayability. If you and a friend sat down to play the entire 6 movies in entirety after a good 12 to 14 hours, you would only have completed about 30% of this masterpiece. So you and your friends better be ready to replay that free play, baby. The humor is on point, and the game still holds up as a galactic good time for you and a friend. So if you've somehow managed to miss out on this beautiful gem of a game, do yourself and your co-op partner a favor and pick it up and get ready to destroy, build, and destroy all across the galaxy today.
And to wrap out this list, we have Deep Rock Galactic. Probably one of the most just hell yeah games you could ever play with your friends. You and your friends customize your own dwarf, choose one of 4 different classes that you can change at any time, each of which has their own weapons, tools, and more, and then choose a mission to go diggy hole. And it's never that simple, as there are many different enemy types that will attack you and really push your squad to the edges of your ammo until you are praying to the dwarf gods to get you home safe with your loot. It's such a simple concept, and yet it's so much fun and executed to perfection. And when you're all done, everyone can dance, drink together, kick cans into a little basketball hoop until the next perilous mission where you do it all over again. And that's what really makes this game just one of the best, relaxing, yet exciting co-op games to play with friends.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to let us know what some of your favorite co-op games of all time are down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe. Be sure to check out our various socials like TikTok and Twitch for more geeky goodness. Till next time, keep on geeking on.